3 rings to the elves, 7 to the dwarf lords, 9 to the race of men, and the 1 ring to rule them all. These are all the rings of power in Middle-earth, but what powers were granted to the wearers of these rings? We all know that by wearing the 1 ring, you turn invisible, but what happened to the wearers of the others? Well, first there were the Elven rings. These were made individually by the Elven smith Celebrimbor. When Sauron went to war for the rings, he was able to get all of the other ones, except for the Elven ones, which remained hidden in the Elven kingdoms. Narya, also named the Ring of Fire, ended up in Gandalf's possession after it was given to him by the elf Círdan. The ring provided hope and resistance to the allies of its wearer. They were able to resist domination and therefore fight with more strength in battle. Nenya, also named the Ring of Water or the Ring of Adamant, was given to Galadriel, and she had it all her life. Its powers were preservation and protection, which Galadriel used to sustain the land of Lothlorien, also known as the Woodland Realm. Finally, there was the most powerful of the 3, Vilya, also named the Ring of Air or the Ring of Sapphire. It was eventually passed down by Gil-galad to Elrond. The powers of it weren't specifically mentioned by Tolkien, other than the fact that it was the most powerful. However, it possibly had healing and preservation abilities, as well as the gift of wisdom to its bearer. Then there were the 7 rings, given to the dwarf lords by Sauron. These rings all had the same powers and effects. They brought great wealth and riches upon their wearer, as well as intensified greed. With the powers of these rings, the dwarves were able to greatly build up their treasure hoards, but this also attracted dragons. 4 of the 7 rings were lost amongst dragonfire, and the other 3 were recovered by Sauron. Then there were the 9 rings for mortal men doomed to die. Sauron gave these rings to them knowing that they would eventually fall to the power of the 1 ring. These rings were also all the same, and had the ability to give their wearer great power, wealth, and eternal life. After having the rings for a while, they all became permanently invisible, and were known as the Nazgul or Ring Wraiths. They were servants of Sauron and did only what he told them to. And last but definitely not least, there was the 1 ring, forged by Sauron himself in Mount Doom. The 1 ring to rule them all. It had the power to dominate all other 19 rings, which Sauron had planned to use to take over Middle-earth with no military action. However, this plan didn't succeed perfectly. The 1 ring also had the powers of every other ring, but to a much greater extent. It's most known for just making you turn invisible, however it had much more powers than just that. The 1 ring was also able to dampen the powers of the other rings, making them less powerful, and finally it was able to enhance Sauron's strength in battle, giving him great military might. So yeah, the other rings weren't entirely useless, but compared to the 1 ring, they were kinda bad. It's kinda like a plastic butter knife compared to a katana. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and goodbye.